Chapter 1. The King's Feast. King Ahasuerus of Persia hosted a grand feast lasting 180 days to display his riches and power. Afterward, he wanted Queen Vashti to appear and show her beauty to his guests. Vashti refused, which angered the king. He consulted his advisors, who suggested finding a new queen to prevent other women from disobeying their husbands. Vashti was deposed, and a search for a new queen began. Chapter 2. Esther's Rise to Queenship. Young Esther, an orphan Jewish girl raised by her cousin Mordecai, was among the many women brought to the palace. She gained favor with the king due to her beauty and kindness and was chosen to be the new queen. Esther kept her Jewish identity secret, as Mordecai had advised. Meanwhile, Mordecai uncovered a plot to assassinate the king and reported it, saving the king's life. Chapter 3. Haman's Plot Against the Jews. Haman, a high-ranking official, was promoted and demanded everyone bow to him. Mordecai, a Jew, refused to bow, which enraged Haman. In his anger, Haman plotted to annihilate all Jews in the Persian Empire and convinced the king to issue a decree for their destruction. The decree was issued, causing great distress among the Jewish people. Chapter 4. Esther's Brave Decision. Mordecai urged Esther to use her position to plead for the Jews. Approaching the king unsummoned was risky and could result in death, but Esther agreed to take the chance. She asked Mordecai and all Jews to fast and pray for 3 days. Esther prepared to approach the king and make her plea. Chapter 5. Esther's Banquet. Esther invited the king and Haman to a banquet. At the feast, she did not immediately make her request, but invited them to another banquet the following day. The king was intrigued and agreed to attend the second feast, eager to hear what Esther had to say. Chapter 6. The King's Revelation. That night, the king could not sleep and had the royal records read to him. He discovered that Mordecai had previously saved his life but had not been honored. Haman, who had come to ask for Mordecai's execution, was instead ordered by the king to honor Mordecai publicly. Haman's pride was deeply wounded. Chapter 7. Haman's Downfall. At the second banquet, Esther revealed her Jewish identity and exposed Haman's plot to destroy her people. The king was furious and demanded that Haman be hanged on the gallows he had prepared for Mordecai. Haman's plot was defeated, and he faced execution. Chapter 8. A New Decree. Mordecai was given Haman's position and authority. Esther revealed her connection to Mordecai, and the king allowed the Jews to defend themselves by issuing a new decree. The Jews prepared to fight back against their enemies, who had planned to attack them. Chapter 9. The Jews' Victory. On the day the original decree was to be enforced, the Jews successfully defended themselves against their attackers. They defeated their enemies and celebrated their survival. The festival of Purim was established to commemorate their victory and deliverance. Chapter 10. Mordecai's Legacy. Mordecai was honored for his bravery and service. He became a respected leader among the Jews. The story of Esther and Mordecai's courage was remembered and celebrated. The festival of Purim continued to be observed as a symbol of their triumph and resilience.